make sure everyone's able to be heard. I think you guys are good to go. All right, welcome everyone to tonight's episode of The Mind King, which will be most likely the last episode of 2020. Yay! This year has sucked. Ooh.
Yeah.
Minor stuff out of the way before we start. Our last episode of any content until after Christmas is going to be this Thursday. We are going to be doing a mini painting and chill. You guys are way too smart for us. You guessed it. We're painting dragons. We're going to be doing 2 different dragons. We're going to start a little bit earlier than usual. Still trying to solidify a time, but make sure you follow us on our socials to see what time that is. We are doing a giveaway on that stream. Specifically, we are going to be doing 2 booster boxes of a winner's choice of minis. Should you want to do that, make sure that you're there. Only rules are following the channel, wait for a keyword, and we'll do it at the end of the stream. If you aren't already, please make sure that you follow the channel. If you have the money for it, please consider subscribing or resubscribing. And don't forget, if you're Twitch subscribing and you would like to, you have to resubscribe each month. So don't forget to do that. Are we going to have a back in stylus?
This Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as long as nothing comes up.
Okay. Then we will be having a back in stylus on Sunday, which actually will be our last episode of the year then. I'm sorry I'm coming in twice. It may just be because...
You are, sorry.
Weird, hold on.
Wait, it might be me.
The noise gates.
Hold on, let me put headphones on.
Oh, that might be it, because the noise gate wasn't on and I have the same thing as last time.
Oh, I don't know.
We're just double checking. Bear with us.
How's that?
Is that any better?
Wheeler, say some stuff.
Hello, it's me. I'm
Speak
Wheeler.
again, Michael.
Hello, it's me. I'm Wheeler.
Kind of sounds the same.
Weird. I mean, I might be being
A
picked
little
up
robot-y.
on the... I might be being picked up on the Yeti mic as well, but we will see.
Probably a little bit.
Okay, so for those of you who are here, I don't have any gifts for my players, but my players have gifts for me, and I told them I would open them on stream, so that's what we're going to do right now. Enjoy unboxing video featuring us. What do I start with?
Whatever the fuck you want, Wheeler. There's no rules.
I'm going to start with this one
Can I open mine up too?
because
Even
it's
though I
got
kind of
cool
know what it
artwork
is.
on it, which
Start.
lets me know that most likely it's Chris's to me.
Yeah.
That's just a guess, though. And it's well wrapped. I'll say this quietly so Hunter doesn't hear.
That's beautiful.
Hunter uses a lot of tape when she wraps gifts. It was very hard to get some of my
I do
gifts,
too.
But all right. First off, let me actually make sure that this is working properly. All right, gift number 1. Do you want this bow material?
No, fuck no.
Okay. We have been celebrating Hanukkah. Also, happy 6th night of Hanukkah to anyone who is celebrating.
Yeah.
We have been doing gifts each night, and we had a theme for each night. And I got this T-shirt and a mug from my wonderful partner.
Squirrel Hill's been going crazy.
Chris got me a very fashionable scarf for me to wear.
Yeah, made of 3-inch wire-edged ribbon.
So comfy. Very good tape job.
Beautiful.
I love the Scotch tape. I'm also one of those horrible gift openers that like tries to open it with relative like grace before I mess anything up.
Nah, dude, fuck it.
Hey, we need this for in here.
Yeah.
Like badly. Acoustic foam, so that way we sound better. for the next few months that I'm in here. Thank you, Chris. We actually definitely need this.
You're welcome. I put those exact same acoustic panels on my own wish list on Amazon, just in case, because, like, you know,
They're wrapped really well.
you could just leave them like that for now.
Yeah, we'll put these up before Thursday.
You will need to, like, leave them. I would probably want to do it tomorrow night, because you do need to leave them to, like,
Expand.
for like
Okay.
24 hours.
Cool.
Especially because they also sort of apparently smell bad when you first pull them open.
Ooh, yay! I love bad smelling things.
Excuse me.
Says the man who can't smell that well. Gift number 2, also from Chris, because it's got the same artwork.
Oh, just pull the thing from the bottom.
There's tape on the top.
Oh. I'm just gonna. This one I'm gonna do a little. There we go. All right. This goes with the other scarf that I got. Chris got me 2 scarves. How thoughtful.
If you could do more of this on camera, that'd be good. But, like, you know, you're doing your best.
I am doing my best.
We need a Wheeler only cam.
Yeah, well, I have one of those, but it's. I want to see your guys' reactions to those. Here, let me just lift them up. Oh, he got me a box. That has dinosaurs in Christmas hats and stuff on it. I love it.
Nice.
This is my favorite part of opening gifts, because the gifts that aren't actually the gift are some of my favorite pieces. And then the gift comes and it's just like a whole experience. That's great. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, we have a lot to paint coming up.
Yeah, I remember for last painting when you're like, oh, we have downtime, but I don't have any other minis to paint.
Set of Frobolg Druids, which I'm excited about. Also, I saw something the other day that was Frobolgs but moose heads instead of cow heads, and I think I love that.
Pretty cool.
And a Freet, which is awesome because I don't have any of the gins except the Myriad. Watch our unboxing video, because I unboxed that, which means I'm gonna have so much to do over break, and I'll probably do none of it. A huge Fire Elemental Lord, which is good because I was talking about this the other day too, because I love and I need to work on painting fire because it looks awesome, and that'll be fun to throw at you guys at some point.
No.
Blame Chris, it's his fault. Go for
Dang
it.
it, Chris.
One of my closest friends' characters, Warforged Fighter. Yes, Ben, I was referencing you.
Yeah, just minus the robot tiefling horns.
Yes, minus the robot tiefling horns.
Yes.
And last but not least, somewhat relevant to tonight's game,
Fuck you.
the Alhoon and Intellect Devours.
I don't want
Alhoons
to know that.
are cool. That'll be an interesting case study on like painting. See what I can get like mixed together. All right, 2 more gifts. The other 2 are from Kimmy. Oh jeez Louise. Okay. We're gonna go with this one first.
These are quicker, no bows.
Yes, but
Yeah,
still
they're
well
not
wrapped.
Terrible above.
You already knew what this one was.
I did because you told me. I mean, I did because I guessed.
No, he was there when I
Okay,
and
good.
I got one for him
didn't want
too.
to.
I was
Another box of Fangs and Talons, which ironically, I picked up another box, but it was a exact repeat of a box that we got. I got another Dire Troll, the same 2 kobolds, one with the jar of, or the, yeah, and then another Ambush Drake. I'm gonna open this on stream. Fuck it. What else are we doing tonight? Am I right? Playing D&D? No.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
D&D? Who's she? I don't. Do you have a knife?
Chris.
Oh, there's actually one right behind you on the table. I'm gonna do this off stream because I don't know what the rules are for Twitch and weapons. Let's see what I
Nothing
get.
great.
This is definitely a heavy one. Ow.
Yeah,
Chris
there
and I
was,
pick minis the
there
exact
was
same
like
way. We
three-
go in and we go.
Yeah, there was like 3 bricks worth, and I got the 2 heaviest ones. So there's a pretty solid chance that's either another T-Rex or a dragon.
Okay, well you get the T-Rex if it's another T-Rex, or it's one of the other big ones. I'm opening them off
It's so
screen.
much
and then I'm
heavier
looking
than the
at them.
Nightwalker.
No, another T-Rex. Well, now I have 2 T-Rexes. You know what that means.
If I don't get a T-Rex from mine, I'll trade you.
Nothing good from us. For us.
More
Are
kobolds,
gonna
which I
die.
can never get enough of. I got another kobold with a little stinger, which I love.
Scorpion on a stick.
Oh, I was like, what mini is this? It's the tail. I'm just dumb. Another Red Wizard of Thay, which is dope.
Nice.
Yeah, good. And a Twig Blight. So now I have 2 Twig Blights. Man, I can throw so many doubles at you guys. I'm so excited. So
I'm not.
What? You don't want 2 T-Rexes thrown at you?
What do you mean
Not
I can't
really.
double polymorph the enemies and turn them into T-Rexes?
Yeah, like reverse good for you. You polymorph them into creatures that are like actually harmful to the party.
I just rolled a nat
And
20,
then-
which like I wish I could roll during a game.
This boy. He's very long. I'm gonna put him right here. Just as a reminder. There we go. All right, last gift, and then we'll start. I promise. But
Wait, I
there's.
have a gift too. I want to.
Oh yeah. Dee Dee's got to open their gift too. So we will also open that on stream. Actually, you go ahead, unless you want me to do mine and then you want to end it.
Just do yours.
Okay.
Do the unwrapping
No,
and
I
then
got
be
it.
ready to say what
I
it
got
is.
it. I have it right here. It says it's from a girl who smells like flowers. Which, when I first got this, I was like, wait.
Which
Wait
like,
a second. Also, I broke this.
what is this
so
world?
I can now wear this as a ribbon on my head.
Sending
then-
things to our friends as references to our D&D game. I got a white box.
Oh yeah. If I can do that, I'm gonna. And then look, guys, it's polymer clay,
Hell
which is
yeah!
awesome. I can finally make my elf ears that I've been wanting to make for like literally 5 months now.
I did not.
And
look
I
at
can
this.
make some jewelry for you guys.
All right, I got a
Pretend
white
that I
box.
didn't
Thanks,
say that,
Kimmy.
so
All right, we're
myself.
about to start now. No, I'm just kidding. Oh! I have another Funko Pop for my collection.
Ooh, who's it?
Rick, questioningly. I love Rick and Morty so much. That's actually one of the modules that I want. I'm gonna go put it up on. I'll be walking right behind you.
I bought myself
on
Vax
top
the
of
other day, and he's
That
good.
makes the most sense. Perfect. Okay. Thank you guys. Early Christmas. I love it.
Honk.
Yes, happy honk.
Happy honk.
All right.
Honk honk goose.
Am goose. All right, so that concludes our small segment of my players get me things, but I get them nothing.
Check back next week for more.
Check back next week, yeah, when I still get them nothing. No. All right, so with that out of the way, we will head into tonight's episode. So, last we left off, the party, having recently woken up from a stupor that was induced by some kind of weird mushroom people, having figured out more clearly where their path ahead of them lies, and kind of now having a solidified idea and map of what they need to do and where they need to go. Decided to trek through the Underdark to try and find some underground vegetation to get them thrust back to the surface world near where they left their balloon that they created. On the way down, they ran into some elementally infused or somehow elemental draconid or draconic-like creature who swallowed Ashter and completely slammed a few of the party members, including Rook, with some thunderous damage. Post which they were beginning to rest before they picked up quickly to move from where they were going as they heard sounds coming from up the tunnel back the way that they came, seemingly awakening something or letting on something to their position. Over the next few hours or so, they found themselves into an underground lake with a large citadel island in the center, seemingly surrounded by a grove of purple-leaved and trunked trees, narrowly getting away from an almost run-in with what seemed to be a couple drow who were on patrol. They made their way across via many different ways, finally finding themselves on this island, and through some strange means realized that this may not be exactly what they think it is. Walking up to the grove, they found a tree that worked before Brian was spotted by these cloaked figures up on the citadel wall, and right before they cast the spell to transport via plants to the surface world, it seemed that there was some kind of more intense mind flayer with a lot of other mind flayer individuals around it trying to get you to come forward. You all stepped through the doorway, and that is where we pick up. So, as you all step out into the now very chilly, cold, snowing air, hearts racing a little bit, the tree behind you now closing as the individuals are reaching out, almost seemingly getting to the door and coming out with you. What do you do?
Oh,
yeah, we're
what the
getting
hell was
assaulted.
that? Or should I say, what the hell is that?
None of them made it through, right?
No, just you guys. Very narrowly. They were on you guys before you had the ability to just get through. And then the 6 seconds closed the door as they were kind of looking through, planning on what to do.
Brian, I don't have too much experience with drow, but do they normally hang out with Squidbeard people?
I don't know. I
David,
don't
I
judge.
think you're muted, buddy.
Nope, still
Can you
muted.
hear David?
Oh no.
He's coming.
Hello. Words.
Hello.
Oh, there
Yes,
you are.
words.
Word. Oh, okay. That was odd. Am I back?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me try that again. I don't typically hang out with drow, but I don't think they typically hang out with squid people either.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who would want to hang out with squid people, to be honest.
Now,
Now,
you guys remember the first time I met tieflings? I'm trying to be more open to other people's cultures and whatnot. What the fuck were those?
we've run into those kinds of things before, I think. But I don't exactly I don't think I've seen anything exactly like that.
No.
Well, I mean, not the big one with the long faith, but no, yeah, we fought one of those like forever ago.
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying, yeah, the big one, the big scary guy. We killed one of the, I guess, smaller ones of that. But, that
Medium.
is
Yeah.
a
Like, yay
whole new
high.
flavor of terrifying.
Yeah, that one, the ones on the for those of you who were there for it, so Gideon, Kyron, and Brian, the one that you ran
Original
into,
three.
yeah. For those of you guys remember, the one that you fought in Ambrosia, was much more like lithe than the ones that you saw up on the wall, but were more seemingly similar to the ones on the wall rather than the one that was the long tentacly boy.
Yeah.
So
Here's the other thing, folks. I don't think that these guys necessarily have a connection to my person, because I kind of was always under the assumption that a lot of the Drow had this kind of innate connection to the spider lady, but I wasn't getting anything down there. It was just complete fantasy radio silence.
So that wasn't Spider Lady Island.
I don't think it was Spider Lady Island, at least not anymore.
Huh.
That's
I
surprising.
don't know if that makes me more or less comfortable with this
Right?
situation.
I'm thinking the same thing.
I'm gonna go with less.
Yeah, I'm inclined to go less as well.
So there's just some squid people and some drow living in a fortress in the middle of a lake underground.
Yeah, hold on just a second.
Did I feel the Raven Queen under there at all?
it definitely felt. Make a general wisdom check.
Okay. Hold on while I find Kyron's. Oh, there's Kyron's dice. Okay. I'm on the wrong page, as always. Oh, you just said wisdom. I'm stupid. I was on the right page. That is a 20.
20?
Unnatural.
It definitely felt like you're thinking back on it now and where you were after Brian talked about how he had like little to no connection to his patron. There was a rather diminished link. It gave you vibes of like post when you called upon her to aid you within that fight in Locus. Right after that, there was like a time where it felt kind of like distant. That kind of is the most similar instance that you've run into.
Okay.
Are we still hanging out right where we stepped out of the portal?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Hey, I just remembered that I left some very dangerous fireballs. Just waiting on somebody to step on them, so let me go back to the balloon first before we all go stepping on places that we might lose limbs and such.
Well, I think you set them so that they wouldn't set them.
Oh,
I don't remember.
yeah.
Better safe
I
than
think you
sorry.
did.
We'll find out. Let's go see what carnage has ensued in our absence.
Okay. As you walk forward, it's rather quiet, minus just the sound of the wind, and there is a decent amount of snow coming down at the moment. It's not like blizzard-like or super windy, but it's still, there's a wind chill and an actual torrent of snow coming down. As you walk through, your visibility is just a little off, and you make your way to the opening of what you recall. You got as close to it as you could. You guys can actually see the outline of the balloon from where all of you are standing, but Gideon goes over to check on it. There is a heavy divot in the snow, covered in snow though, where the where you remember casting one of them, and there are seemingly large pieces of something kind of under the snow, just scattered about. The other one that you remember planting doesn't seem to have been affected.
Okay.
Can we tell what it was, or is it just like chunks?
You can come up and make a nature check.
I rolled terribly, but give me a second. I don't know what my nature is.
Pretty high.
Yeah, that's a. No, it's not. I only have a +1. That's a
Oh.
5.
You brush off the snow, and it's some kind of fur. That's really all you can tell.
Some kind of fur.
It seems to be based off of the snow. You can't really tell how long it's been here, but you're like, oh, it's probably been sitting here for a little bit. It's cold. It's got snow on it. That's about it.
Based off of like the amount of
Just
biomass, is it? Are we able to like nail it? Like, what size was the creature when it was still one piece?
You're not sure what pieces of it there are. You can make a nature check as well if you're trying to figure out what it is.
That's
just for
a
fun.
natural
Detect
19.
magic.
You see the glyph that hasn't been dispelled yet on the other side of the balloon. Nothing magical though within the vicinity besides that.
Okay.
23. Based off of the mass of it, it looks like it was a not necessarily like large, but a bigger creature of some kind. With the roll and on top of it, when you look at a couple of the pieces, just looking at the bone structure and some of the organs that have kind of now just coagulated and solidified in the snow, it looks to have been some kind of large wolf or bear of some kind that came looking probably for food and got rudely awakened or rudely split apart.
All right. Well, I'm gonna leave that other one active until we leave, and I'll dispel it once we're in the air.
Okay.
But just in case something comes up on us and we don't want to deal with it, because we still got to rest, don't we?
You guys had a short rest. You guys haven't had a long rest yet, so yeah, you would still need to rest.
Yeah. Do we want to just call it for the day and sleep and get the balloon ready to go? So we got to fill it back up. It's gonna take a while.
Yeah. And it is
Yeah,
There's-
that sounds great.
a hefty amount of snow on top of it. Like probably from what you can look at, just guessing without having anything like put up on it. There is what looks to be maybe like 1.5 feet of snow. I mean, it's been a few days, so yeah, it'll take time, but it's up to you.
Long rest. Long rest.
Okay. You guys
rest.
set up a camp quickly without too much of an issue. Besides trying to find just dry wood, that's one of the biggest things. You do have to scrounge about a little bit for it if you want to make a fire. But with the amount of time you guys have on your hands, it's easily enough found.
I can scrounge.
Yeah.
I have a good survival or whatever.
Yeah, and based on what you can tell, where you guys are at currently, it seems to be it's a little weird because you're tired, but it seems to be like either just because you're still kind of racked from the Underdark. Seems to be either just before midday or just after midday. Luckily, there is somewhat of an overcast, so it does kind of dampen the light a little bit. It should be easy for you to sleep. But you guys gather the wood without too much of an issue, start a fire, and you guys can take a long rest if you'd like. Who wants to take first watch?
I'll stay up during the first watch so that I can clear some snow off of the balloon and
Okay.
get it situated sort of above the basket, so it'll be easier to set off when we need to.
Okay. Easily enough, you grab some semblance of either a broom or some kind of moving material that you can use to get the snow off of it. And throughout that's basically the extent of what you do for that portion of the rest. Kyron, if you want to make a perception check for me.
That's hold on, have to do math. 23.
23. Not too much of an issue. You gather from that, just like looking at the chunks of the pieces, that whatever that noise was probably scared off a lot of the creatures around here, and none of them are probably anywhere near here or brave enough to come by. Does that necessarily mean that some of the denizens of the nearby area won't come to look? No, but for now it seems that you are fine. As you finish your watch, who would like to take the second watch for the night?
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
You and Zinnia both do it. Go ahead and roll perception checks to both of you.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole 11.
14.
Oh, okay. Together, you guys are kind of just having a discussion. The pain is still setting into you, especially recently with the racking of what has happened. And
So do you just like wash yourself in flowers? Is that how you smell like flowers all the time? Or is it like a natural musk? Because my natural musk does not smell anything like flowers. I kind of want to know the secret, honestly.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't thought that much into it. I don't wash myself with flowers because that wouldn't get me very clean. But yeah, I guess it just.
I'm just
comes
saying
with
we-
the powers.
We've all noticed you smell like flowers. And,
That's what I've
I
been
mean, there's... Can you share?
I mean, I can give you flowers that you can carry around with you, and therefore you might smell a little bit like flowers, but that's about it.
Deal. I'll take it.
Okay. I just like pull some flowers out of my little sack.
Zinnia owes me flowers.
yeah, she hands you some flowers.
I tuck them in between the links of my armor.
It does.
There's little tiny flowers poking out of my plate.
It does help a little bit. It makes them smell relatively nicer for the rest of the watch. Yeah, but you guys you continue on. It doesn't look like there's anything around. The most that you see is what looks to be a white owl. As your guys' watch kind of starts to set into dusk. Which what you gather now is you guys probably slept earlier in the day, but you get into dusk and you start to see the denizens of the forest start to come to life as things quiet down a little bit. You tend to the fire, but other than that, there's not too much going on. You guys can go take a rest and wake up whoever wants to take the last watch. Or you can just all sleep through it if you'd like.
I'll do it.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Do I have any luck left? No, I've used it all. That's an 8.
Okay. Not great, but not horrible. You are
still in the sink. Still in the sink.
Hi, Sierra. You are kind of sitting on the outskirts of the fire, just kind of trying to scan across. When everything kind of just like pauses for a second, like the snowflakes stop falling. They're just like paused midair. The fire stops crackling and everything just kind of slows down for you. And you feel this very cold sensation over the back of your neck, and you hear very quietly, "Don't worry, I'm still here." And everything just kind of comes back into it, and the snow starts to fall a little bit more, and you're just kind of like weird heebie-jeebies. But other than that, the most that happens is that like very soon after that, there's like a probably the size of a $50, like very translucent spider that comes up and just starts crawling onto your like leg and up your chest and like onto your arm, and then just kind of sits there closest to the fire for a second before just like jumping, and then the wind just kind of takes it and it disappears from view.
Great, that's fine. That's absolutely fine.
You gather the end of your watch is nearing, as it is now very dark outside. The only source of light around is the fire, but with Gideon's work in the beginning and some minor tweaks with the rest of you throughout the night, the balloon is partially filled, and you guys wake up from a long rest and are free to do as you please.
Oh, gotta hit that long rest button in D&D Beyond. Give me all those spells.
I'm going to resummon my cow.
Okay. You resummon Fenris, and he does appear. Not upset. You get this like sense of understanding between the two of you, and then he's just happy to be back. So
I give him a good rub down, and then I go get a couple more flowers from Zinnia, and I braid him into his fuzz.
okay.
Aww.
Fenris also slightly smells a little better.
Hey, careful with all those. They don't grow on trees, you know.
Wait. I look at Zinnia very confused, like I've been lied to.
No. But I guess technically the night is free for you to do as you please. As the soft sounds of the forest around you start to pick up with life as the night kind of comes to a head, what do you choose to do?
So, where do we want to go?
I mean, we
don't
all
have-
saw that mountain range.
Yeah.
It's
I
pretty
don't
much
know where
just like.
it is, though.
Well, it was by Ambrosia, right?
It's just south, maybe like a day and a half travel.
Yeah. So,
I mean, honestly, can we just go there?
I mean, do we want to like stop anywhere first for like supplies? We'll be running pretty close to Saber on the way. Sort of.
I wouldn't mind stopping in Saber.
Might actually, if we can talk to that, the magic tree.
Mm.
If anything is going to know anything about those weird squid drow under the ground, I'd say the magic tree. But I don't know. I'm not some omnipotent god-ish being, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the more important thing is to make sure Zinnia can handle that.
Oh, that's true. Oh, right.
Okay, well,
Sorry to be a downer, but
I mean, if we're running lower on time, we could like split up, have some people jump quicker back to, somewhere in that direction if we need to.
I mean, how much in that direction are we talking? Because I can actually just remind me. I'm so sorry. We have a teleportation circle at the vineyard, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can just get us back to the vineyard if we want to split this up. I can just get some of us back. If some of us want to take the balloon and start going somewhere else, and I can get a few people over to Ambrosia just like that. I know we didn't want to waste the balloon, so if we
Well-
wanted to kind of divide and conquer.
Yeah. Well, because we have a couple ways we can get people around quickly. We can do the tree jump again.
Right.
You can use your teleportation circle, but that's limited to where you can go.
Right.
I mean, we got a new scrying bowl, so we could find some other big trees in areas near where we want to go.
I think the biggest problem is we don't know exactly where we want to go, right? I mean, we saw the mountain range. We saw the area where that cave was. We saw the guy in the cave with the flowers. But, I mean, not that I've ever done much detective work in my life, but I wouldn't exactly call that a lead.
Yeah, well, if
I
one
can,
or two of us go ahead back to Ambrosia or to Saber or wherever we want, that gives people time to do a bit of research and sort of get ahead on wherever we need to go next, while the rest of us are, chugging along, catching up, going the long way around.
Is there a teleportation circle in Saber?
Yes. Not that you
Do
know
we
of.
have it?
No, the only two that you have currently are the one in the vineyard and the one in
The tower in Locus.
Locus, yeah. Well, it's not even a tower; it's underground. But yes.
But it's under the tower,
Yes.
right? Yeah. The Mage Tower is what we're talking about.
It's
Hmm.
it's not underneath that tower, but it's underneath the city. That's something.
I mean,
That's fair.
I suppose we kind of know what our limiting factor is, right? It's how close for. This is gonna sound a little insensitive, and I'm sorry, but I don't use words too good. But it's how close it is to Kroken.
Yeah, you don't look too good.
Yeah.
And I
How
look
you
at
doing?
Zania and I say, so how close are you to Kroken?
I don't think I'm that close. I mean, I would hope I'm not that close.
I mean, so for example, if you had to measure it, right? Like, say, if you had like a glowing green number counting down to when you die on your arm, like in a movie with Justin Timberlake, how much time would that glowing green number on your arm read? Roughly.
I mean, I think I'd have like a couple weeks.
You, I
Well,
will
something
say,
else we also need to keep in mind is the whole reason you came here is because, like, it's not just you, but it's your whole tribe, right?
No, it's my family.
I mean, but if you're feeling like you're about to die, is there anyone else in your family who's close then too?
No, it's just me right now.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
so long as there's only one life we have to save.
Yeah.
Well, you've been gone a while. You never know. They could be in bad shape now.
Well, I mean, it's
Not
a blood
to-
curse.
there were a few members of your family that were younger,
Oh.
but you know that it takes a while to affect. And I will say that yours specifically has developed faster than what you've seen in the past. And based off of some secondhand knowledge, you do know that the extensive use of your druidic powers has an adverse effect on how it develops in the system. So the more you cast and the more energy you use, the faster the what you now know as the blood curse sets in, which is why it's been so apparent recently. And while the pain again is still manageable, it is definitely more painful than it has been, and is consistently noticeable now. And the moment that it got worse was when you tried to wild shape when you were down there. So it's starting to grow, and it's becoming a point of like, ow, that's okay, but ow. So.
Flowers, if you don't mind me asking, I don't understand curses very well. I mean, I understand bad luck, obviously, but I don't quite get, you say this is a family thing. Like, did you piss off the wrong wizard, or? I don't think I ever actually understood why this,
Well, I don't
why
really
this was here.
exactly understand
Maybe we
why
can do
it's
something,
here. I went,
Oh.
and when we first went to the big tree place, I talked to a lady about it, and she said that basically someone in my family a long time ago had pissed off, the wrong person, like you said, but they don't know exactly who, because if we knew who it was, we could fix it. So now we're just having to try the general cure-all, which is a lot harder. So.
I get
That
that.
makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Kyron, this is kind of tangentially a death-related thing. Any potential chance you might be able to, I don't know, buy her some more time or something?
Yeah, I've tried that and it hasn't worked so far.
All right.
Like, I did try.
Yeah, a little too powerful for Chiron's abilities.
I mean, I could, like, Greater Restoration, but I don't think that's gonna actually do anything.
I think you've already
Right.
tried that.
I think I did too, yeah.
All right, so
I know we're in less.
do we want to split up, and do we want to send somebody ahead to wherever we need to go? Because I mean, by my math, it's gonna take a solid 3-4 more days, depending on the wind, to get back to Ambrosia in the balloon. So that's that much time that somebody can be, whatever you need to do. I mean, you could bounce between Saber and Locus and Ambrosia, back and forth in that amount of time between the two of you.
Good.
I think someone going to Saber and asking the tree is a good idea, because there's a whole mountain range of us to look through, and I don't know if someone's gonna not die in that time. I'm not saying it's you, Zinnia. I'm just saying, maybe someone. Anyone. Could be Brian.
It's fine. You can say me.
Hey,
Brian's been looking real rough recently.
hey. I've been working on that.
What, Brian looking rough?
Yeah.
I think he might have been born with it. So, you can get us to Saber, and I point at Zinnia, with a tree.
Mhm.
And you can get us home, and I point at Brian, with the magic circle.
Yes.
And I point at Gideon. Where can you get us?
Anywhere the wind blows, baby.
Okay, you can drive a balloon. And I point at Kyron. Can we fly on ravens?
No.
Okay, you are no help.
Yeah, don't be unrealistic,
Hey,
Ashton.
I have
I
knowledge.
I take
have
my
knowledge.
walking stick wheeler and I draw a moon-shaped crescent in the dirt,
It's snow.
and I make a little dot where I think we are, and I make a little dot where Saber is, and I make a little dot where Ambrosia is,
Is it anywhere accurate?
Make an
and
intelligence
then I
check.
make some I make some squigglies where I think the mountains are.
Okay. Make an intelligence check.
Why you gotta do this to me?
Because you're trying to do a
Because
thing
you're
for memory.
7.
7?
It's a 7.
Brian, make an intelligence check.
Oh shit. Okay, this is what bites me in the ass.
Do I not have an actual map?
Pretty sure you do.
I'm not gonna bring that up.
So if you don't, Brian does. But
Intelligence check.
yeah.
Ha! 6.
Yeah, it seems pretty accurate. You're looking at it, you're like, oh,
So
yeah, that's where
Brian and
they
I
are.
are just standing over this map. So I
Just gonna let
take
him
my
go with
stick and I sort of draw a straight line from where we are down to Saber, and I say, okay, so we take a tree down here, and I draw a line to Saber, and then I draw a line over to Ambrosia, and then we take a circle over here, and we can do that all in one day. And the balloon, and I draw a dashed line from where we are to Ambrosia, and put a 4 next to it. Can get us to Ambrosia in 4 days.
You're a dick.
So if we leave for Saber now, then we'll be back in Ambrosia when the balloon gets there. Good plan.
Sure.
Yeah, no, that actually that works for me.
Okay, so I say Zinnia. Well, Zinnia and Brian obviously have to go because they can bippity bop around.
I am not leaving Zinnia's side, so
Okay, well then I guess you guys can go to Saber and then Ambrosia from there. And Gideon and I can have a dude's trip. I run over to Gideon and give him a giant hug.
What are the
It's
chances
fine, I'll
we
just
could get
take
him a
the
bath
towel, I
before
guess.
I'm stuck in a balloon with just him for 3
He does.
days?
She does smell slightly better.
Oh, I'm not fooled.
I tried my best, bud.
yeah, I don't have anything that can help with that. I'm sorry.
Is there a freezing river we can dunk him in?
You can melt snow.
Oh, yeah,
and-
is there?
Oh, I sure can.
Oh, yeah.
How watertight
strip.
is the
Yeah.
Strip. Dude,
is the
strip.
below area of the basket?
pretty watertight. You guys specifically made it so that it was watertight.
Yeah, I'm gonna pile just a shit ton of snow into it over the next however long.
Like the below deck area?
I'm gonna.
The one that's like lined with furs to keep you guys warm?
I'm gonna fucking dry it.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure.
It's gonna smell like him for the rest of the game. It's because it's gonna have that essence of like dirty water.
Essence of Ashter.
Yeah. Well, does anybody have any soap?
If you want to make a survival check,
yeah,
I'll
right
see
here.
if you can find a river. But
Oh, I sure will.
The entire time
I'll
we're
make
having
a
this
survival check.
conversation,
Guidance on that.
Aster's just doing circles around Fenris going, dude, strip, dude, strip, dude, strip.
Survival is a +2, and 8 + 2 is 10.
10.
With the guidance, if I,
I
have it,
guidance.
that's another 3, 13.
13. You spend the better part of the night, I'll say, since it is nighttime.
I don't have another dude-sized container to melt snow in.
But you do run into what seems to be a large pond. That looks to be some kind of spring underground.
How far away is it?
From what you can tell, you took a long time to get to it, but it was a very weird way. as you walk back towards camp, which you do find. Maybe like a quarter to a half mile, somewhere in between those two.
Oh, okay. Only a couple minutes.
Okay.
Okay, good news. I found somewhere to bathe. Bad news. It's very cold.
Okay, well, I mean, if you don't mind a cold bath, I can wait by the balloon for you.
The
Yeah,
bath
no,
is
I'm
for
not doing
you.
that unless you are too.
Okay. And I just go walking off towards the way you pointed where the water was, just going, dude's trip. Dude's trip.
You do end up finding it after a little bit. Fenris comes with you, do you want to get in?
Fucking yeah, I'll do it. I have a lot of fire spells to fix myself.
Okay. So you're gonna try and heat up the water?
No, I'll do it afterwards.
Okay. So, Asher, you
It's like the beach episode, but terrible.
get down to your skivvies. It's already very cold. It's snowing. And you're like, and it doesn't get any better when you jump into the water. Over the next like 2 to 3 minutes, you guys kind of, whether by magical means or physical means, carve out a piece of like ice for you to get into. You get in for about like 10 seconds. And then you're like, nope, I'm done. And then Fenris like just walks in and cracks all of the ice. And kind of also like is shaking as he gets up, but like is wet, somewhat cleaned. And then when he comes up, just like shakes, and it sprays water that almost like instantaneously turns into like slush. Not only on the body, but as it comes off as well. But you are relatively bathed and at least smell somewhat better.
Love it. All right, I start getting the balloon ready to go. Have you guys left yet, the other three?
Have you guys left yet?
Are you still
Kyron and Brian?
just chilling?
You got the tree spell. I'm not doing shit right now.
Yeah, I mean, we can go whenever we want. I just will warn you guys that I don't know how much it may take out of me, so I may just be kind of useless once we get there, but... So,
You're gonna give
It's
it a
alright.
try?
yeah.
I got enough juice to get us the rest of the way if we need to.
Okay.
Make a wisdom save for me.
Ha, that's nice. That's a 24.
24? Okay. Without too much of an issue.
Oh,
You
before y'all go, I have the Oceanith River water. I'm gonna give it to you just in case you need
I'm
it.
gonna take that.
Okay. It is a little bit tense, but you do manage to cast it, and seemingly on the other side, it is where you plan on going. You can feel kind of like a quickly before the three of you walk through, you feel what is like a somewhat warmer draft of air, still cold but warmer than where you're at currently. And the three of you walk through the trunk of the tree and come out to a very dead city currently. But you are walking out of the Eden Tree, the base where most of the druids and individuals who transport via plants on a consistent basis come out of. The only thing you really see throughout the city are some of the Order of the Wood that are walking through, just maintaining the city. Some of them just nod in your general direction as they see you walk through. But as you do, the doorway behind you closes, and it is a little bit warmer here. The natural tree cover that the Eden Tree gives, as well as just kind of the weird like bio heat that comes off of just the general area is a much more comfortable environment than where you just were. But you all find yourselves now within Saber.
So,
Yay.
Magic tree.
Magic tree.
Okay, so you guys walk around to the front. The temples are usually opened pretty much 24/7. There's obviously minimal staff here as graveyard shifts in knowledge temples / life temples are not keenly sought after, but you do come in contact with a few individuals. It seems to be a olive tone skin half elf wearing green and brown robes / leathers. I'm sorry, you wanted to what?
The tree? The knowledge thing. I don't remember. I wasn't there.
Knowledge tree. We want to talk to the tree.
One moment. I'll be right back. You see him kind of just like slowly walk off. He's like blinking his eyes. You can tell he was probably dozing off not too long ago. But you guys just kind of sit there for a few minutes before he comes back. He goes, sorry, lead cleric's asleep right now. You come back in the morning, you might be able to do what you want to do. But I don't think you'll be able to do that right now.
And I'm really sorry, but this is actually kind of urgent. Our friend here is very sick, and we want to make sure that they can, still be breathing this time next month.
We're the Grapes of Wrath.
I've heard of you guys, yeah. I don't have the ability to do anything about it. It's only the lead cleric, but like I said, she'll be here first thing in the morning.
Okay, well, can you go wake them up? Yeah, can you go wake her up, please?
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I hate to be that person, but I want to speak to your manager.
Brian's hair suddenly
We did
comes
happen to
off.
save you guys from.
Make a Brian,
this man
make
just went full Karen.
a persuasion check.
With
We
advantage, because I've been
Yeah, I'll say with
arguing
advantage.
alongside.
Pulling names and also Kyron helping.
does it help that
Also, I know her name. I know her name, but it's in here somewhere and I can't find it. But Kyron knows the name.
Oh, you either have lead cleric Dethra Thyssen or lead cleric Ashton Carthus.
See, okay.
All right.
And he said her, so it would be which one?
They're
Unless it's not either
they're
of those.
both female presenting.
Oh, right.
But the one that you spoke to mostly
I'll
was
just throw out
Ashton
both of their
Carthus. So what did you roll?
Okay.
That's a 20. That's a 27.
27. He kind of looks at you and goes,
Yep.
"Yeah, all right. This is the most interesting thing that's happened to me tonight. Anyway, I'll be right back. Just stay here." He kind of wakes up and perks up a little bit.
Thank you.
He goes off, and it's another about 5 minutes before he comes back, and a very tired-looking lead cleric Carthus comes up. So I was told this was a matter of urgency.
I'm very sorry. Our friend here, point over Zinnia. She's got a plague, a non-contagious plague, might I add.
No,
and
we
we're
know.
trying
We
to figure out.
we took care of her. We knew what she had.
Right, I'm sorry. It's been we've been doing a lot of things lately. I'm trying to kind of having a hard time figuring out what's what right now. Anyway, we were wondering if we could talk with your magic knowledge tree and figure out where we might be able to get the last ingredient to cure said blood curse plague thing.
She kind of sits
And
there
we're
for a
told
moment.
that only you can help us get the magic.
She's still. You can tell she's still very tired. But she goes, let me see what I can do. You have been helpful to the city in the past, and I would like to assist any way I can, as long as the knowledge gets brought back here on exactly what you find. Which one or two of you would like to be in the in the session?
I mean, I would like to be there.
We limit it to 2 individuals at most, for sake of.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm not great with charisma, so if I stay behind, I'm fine with it.
Well.
Oh, no, fine. All right, yeah, no, I'll go with flowers. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So very tiredly, she leads the 2 of you into the large library within the center of this tree, which is currently, again, just like the city, very dead at the moment. There are a few individuals who seem to be poring over tomes through, with candlelight over the side of them, and there's it's a really interesting thing to see. There's already a natural very low purple undulation that kind of goes throughout the tree itself, almost like a heartbeat. But with these small instances of lights that you can see, it's almost like looking at a night sky, in a very weird effect. It's quite beautiful. But she takes you, and there seem to be 2 individuals who are standing guard near this door. She has a brief conversation with them, and she looks at the both of you. Will you be in need of a scribe tonight, or are one of you taking that charge?
Oh, you mean someone to write it down?
Yes.
My handwriting is garbage, but
I can do that.
Okay. You are led into by one of the outside clerics through a wooded corridor that looks like the inside of a tree, as it should, and come into a room that is basically just a soft, what looks like a tree stump, but a very large tree stump in the center. And the entire room surrounding looks like just heavy vines that are hanging down on the walls. In fact, as you walk through what seems to be a doorway, it's actually just vines that have moved out of the way. And as the cleric leaves the 2 of you there, the vines actually just slowly encapsulate and close. There is a fresh tome, quill and inkwell laid by a pedestal that seems to be right near this this kind of platform. And right before the cleric leaves, they say, if you are the one to be scribing tonight, stand near there. It's a bit of a weird experience, but just kind of breathe and let go. And it kind of walks out.
oh, whoa, right. I've never been in this before. Flowers, are you all right with this? This is if this is a more magic-y thing, you don't think this is gonna take more out of you, right?
I mean,
I can.
I don't think I'm the one that's really producing the magic, so I don't think it'll be too much of an issue.
All right.
I mean,
I'm
worst
just
comes
trying to.
worst, I might pass out on the floor, but I'll be okay.
All right. I'll
There's clerics here.
be here for moral support.
So you walk up to the pedestal. There is a moment where you're sitting there and you both are just kind of wondering what is going to happen, because nothing is at the moment. Before you feel, Zinnia specifically, you feel these vines begin to like wrap around your legs, and kind of move up towards the small of your back. And you feel this like brief connection that gets made before there is a blaring and immense amount of pain that comes over you, and the vines fall to the ground, unable to make the connection with you because of, you gather, probably what's going on in your system.
So Brian,
I don't think that's supposed to happen.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work for me.
Yeah, Zinnia just kind of falls to a knee for a second, and one of the clerics actually comes back in and like has a spear ready, and then looks very confused and just like apologetically puts his head down and walks back.
Whoa, hold on. Why the spear?
Oh, it just seemed like something happened. Some of the lights outside kind of diminished a bit, and usually that has to deal with the heart of the tree, which is where you're at. So
Yeah, say we're gonna attack my friend here?
we're just making sure there was nothing in.
Never mind, it's late. We're all cranky.
My apologies. And he kind of walks out. The vines close up again.
This one might be on you.
All right, then. It's fine. I've had worse experiences. How bad could this be?
Okay. You walk up, and it's a few minutes where you guys are like, "Did we break it?" Before Brian, you feel these vines wrap around your feet and up to the small of your back, and the connection is a bit stronger with you. And as you have this connection, you start to kind of like fall back into your vision, and you see you are kind of kept within this small like cage of vines with almost a screen looking out on what's going on. This is the safest that you've ever felt in your own head. But you watch as Brian's eyes, as you're kind of standing there, still kind of reeling from the pain, Zinnia, you watch as Brian's eyes start to glow this like verdant green color. And from behind some of the vines, this small orb of bright green light forms forward. And both of you hear this in your mind, but you see, both of you technically, what looks to be the visage of some ethereal humanoid individual comes forward. And in the back of your heads, you both hear, "I do apologize for the rather drastic severing of our connection, but you have something that is much more harmful to, well, this home and by proxy these temples. Him, on the other hand, his ailment lies beyond things that can cause us pain. What information do you seek?"
So we're looking for a dahlia, specifically one that grows from the blood of celestial being. We've narrowed it down to this little mountain range thing, but we don't quite
Correct.
know how to get there / where it is.
You feel this moment very similar to when the Brian, you feel this moment very similar to when the mushroom people kind of connected with your thoughts. It's going through the thoughts that you've had, and it starts to focus on it. And there's a brief pause where it kind of stops for a second, flickers, and then kind of comes back into full luminance. "Yes, does seem that you have found the closest one to you. The others I would highly recommend not going and trying to find. Let's see. I'll be right back. And as you kind of wait there, the orb turns back into an orb and goes back into the vines. About a minute goes by when it comes back out, and when it forms back into the human, it seems to be holding a book of some kind. And Brian, within this small little vined room that you're in your head, a pedestal grows out of the ground, and from the pedestal also is a book. And as you think of any relevant information throughout this book, as I continue on with this, your body automatically starts writing it down in this tome that you were gifted. And you watch this as Brian's eyes still are like glossed over in this green, and he's kind of just stuck there. As the conversation goes on that you have, he just absentmindedly starts writing in the book. And it's both creepy and kind of serene. But as the entity begins to speak to you, as for any information on the flowers specifically, I have no other information than what you've already received. It's not a well-studied vegetation, as it is a affront to the nature of, well, good and evil. Good, I should say. As for where to find it, the images that pass through your minds of memories not your own seem to point to specifically, and he's kind of looking through the book, and Brian, the book is flipping in front of you in this little cage as this entity is flipping through the book. From your hometown, or rather his hometown of Ambrosia, it seems to be a day and a half travel south near the southern tip of the Penumbra Range. An old, now city of dwarven make within the mountain itself. Old, ancient, and as there's like this moment where you can feel like the expanse of this tree moving across the entirety. Like with your druidic ability and the connection that you now have, even the slight, it expands across the entirety of the continent. And in that brief glimpse, you kind of like have to take a breath for a second because it's just so expansive. But you kind of are blocked off from that general area, and the entity comes back and says, seemingly also not as empty as we think, but the halls of Bonbedier, this relic of a dwarven civilization, now seemingly held by some, if what you say is true and what I've seen is true, evil entity, is where you must go. Within this book, there is somewhat of a map. And you watch as he says that. It's turned to that page, and Brian starts absentmindedly just writing down this like map that's haphazard on one page and then kind of flips to another. I don't know how much help it will be, but this is all that I can offer. One of the... You hear this like... You feel this kind of like humorous tone come in. One of the more, I will say, easier requests of those who have graced this specific room, but nonetheless of seemingly more importance than most. If that is all...
I don't think there's there's anything else I can ask.
Can I do anything while I'm here, or am I just kind of being puppeted by this plant?
You are being somewhat puppeted.
Okay, never mind.
If that is all, he may feel a little queasy after this, but it should pass within a few minutes. May nature be with you and the knowledge it brings help with this ailment. You watch as it turns back into an orb and kind of drifts back into the vines. There's a moment that passes before, Brian, you feel yourself kind of moved back out of that room and kind of into your own senses. And you watch as Brian's eyes kind of stop glowing and he comes back to you. And you do feel kind of queasy, Brian. There's like this weird like jelly leg moment where you kind of have to like grab onto the pedestal. But within about 30 seconds, it passes over you and you just kind of get back up. And before you lies basically any of the relevant information that you had or that you needed.
Huh. That was probably the third strangest experience I've had this week.
How you feeling?
I felt like I was gonna barf for about a minute there, but I'm all right. How are you?
Same. Yeah. At least I didn't pass out. I was, kind of worried.
At least it didn't suck.
So we got a map
Yeah.
and a city
Yeah.
and a general location. I feel like we can make it from there, fortunately.
I think we can figure it out. It'll be all good.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be just fine.
No biggie.
Are they back to me yet?
It's the whole experience is about an hour before they get back to you, but they do around the hour mark make it back to you, and it is late at night. It gets even quieter. You are kind of just left to your own devices, being someone who is well known and having the ability to be within the library. You were just left to your own devices within the library itself. So if there's anything you wanted to do
That's
over
chill.
that hour,
I'll probably
you
go
can.
find a. Actually, I did. I wanted to see if I could find anything about. Hold on. I literally just had it. You know that the box that I had that we got with the dagger in it, and it had that like password that I couldn't figure out.
The one that had the coins in it?
I don't think so. It had a dagger in it.
When was this?
Anyways, I read it like
have to think about
one of the last times that we were here. Hold on, I'm trying to find it again. Give me a second. I can't remember if I had figured out what was inside of it.
Yeah, if it's that black box you got from the hags, that was the one that had the 3 heavy pewter coins in it that you sold off to the collector.
Okay, it had a box for later, question mark. And it said, "Eternal I will reign, say my name," on it.
Yeah, that was
that the thing with like the tongues or something?
No, that was the box you got from the night hag you ran into that had the 3...
Did we figure out?
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
so we
you
actually
didn't
did
figure it
open
out. I
it?
think
I couldn't
Gideon
remember if
just
we opened it.
casted knock on it, and it opened.
I don't.
Okay, that's fair.
don't
Well
think I
then
have
I'll
that spell.
just do some.
Do I?
I'll just do some basic research on dead people, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I
There's a
don't
lot
know.
of dead
If
people.
we did figure that out, because I don't.
You guys did. That's it. That's the only box I can think
Actually,
of.
no. I'll do some. I'll do some research on blind flayers.
Okay. You walk up to one of the kiosks, one of the many ones throughout the library, on one of the lower floors, because you do know it kind of gets little more harrowing as you descend. And given the access that you have, there is a very young, like completely shaved head, super androgynous individual. They look like a child. And after they talk to you, you get the sense that they are. But you ask for specifically, you're like, wait, what do you ask them for?
Do you have any books on mind flayers and possible connections to like different religions than what they normally associate with?
So mind flayers and or the religions that are
it's just
related.
Like, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll say for this, make a. Actually, I'll give it a second. Okay. The child looks at you and goes, one moment, please. And like fast runs off. And within like 3 minutes comes back with a stack of books that they are just like almost like a host or a server just holding at breakneck speed coming your way. There's about 4 books. A couple of them. What languages do you speak?
Hold on, you had to ask. And then I forgot. Common, Gnomish, Infernal, and Undercommon.
Okay. There is one. There are 2 of them in common. There's one in undercommon. And there is there's one in a language you don't understand. But you kind of leave that one off to the side. The one in Undercommon specifically seems to be written by a is it Sverblefin? Sverfleben? A dark gnome, much like Gimbal. You don't really understand the name. It seems to be more of a having to do with the race name, but it talks about a few run-ins with most of the 3 books that you do understand are very much the Underdark and their denizens kind of books, talking about many of the creatures that lurk in the dark and make their home in the Underdark specifically. You do catch a glimpse of a mushroom race that are known as Myconids, and there is a small section on that that they are mostly kind creatures, neutral in their beliefs, and usually live to protect their colony, and that's about it. Talks about mind flayers very, very... Like, even in the book that was written by this dark gnome, there is not a lot that's written about them. It is said that they are cruel. They are, in their nature and ability, manipulative. Will create thralls out of anyone and anything that they see fit. And beyond that, you get the general gist of things that you have already dealt with. There is a small section on the structure of how what is also known as an illithid, how their colonies are made up of, and a very graphic detailing of the birthing process of another mind flayer, which isn't natural birth. It is through a I can't think of the word.
Seramorphosis?
Yeah, it's through a process called seramorphosis, which deals with a tadpole that is like the lowest of the low in the hierarchy of illithids, being implanted through the ocular socket into a humanoid's skull, and then over the next 7 days they basically transition till they are from the inside out transformed into a mind flayer. But it does talk about the fact that the highest point in an illithid colony is something known or called throughout individuals who this individual has talked to, an elder brain, which has been rumored to just be a very large brain. There are lieutenants or higher ranking individuals who are sometimes tasked to go and expand the colony of illithids, called Ulitherids. And then there are your general illithids. It talks about how magic isn't necessarily used all too often. Psionics are kind of the basis of it. And there is a small excerpt that is more of an opinion piece in the book that talks about the fact that it is believed that the creatures are actually from a long down the line civilization that somehow had the magical technology to move back and found themselves stranded in this time. It seems crazy. Time travel to you is like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you start to even try to think about time and it's just like, I'm not gonna think about it. But that's basically the information that you get.
Okay. Cool. Hey, kid.
Oh, yes.
How's Charlie?
Oh,
I think his name is
he's-
Charlie. His name Charlie?
yeah, he's very good. He's doing quite well in the temples. He's had some weird stuff happen recently, nothing bad. Just some weird things that he's trying to figure out. So he hasn't been in the temple as much recently, but he's fine.
Like, what kind of weird things?
Oh, he wouldn't tell anyone. He just said he was starting to have some weird dreams, but nothing to worry about.
Hey, you know where he lives?
Unfortunately, I do not. He did live in the temple for a while, but I think he garnered enough money, or he got into the favor of someone enough to be able to move. So,
Oh, shit. Yeah, that was me. Okay, cool. Thanks.
yeah, of course. Are you done with the books?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, have a pleasant evening, and good night. Kind of takes the books and runs off.
Night.
It's about that time that you guys all kind of meet up, and we will jump over to Ben and Chris real quick, and then we will take a break.
Them boys in that balloon.
As you guys watch as the rest of your group
Do the trip.
moves through a tree and now out of it, and it is now just the two of you and Fenris. You gather the necessary materials up from the camp, put them into the balloon, and get set underway. Where are you headed?
Due south.
Due south. Okay.
1,700 miles, boy.
So you get up to altitude where you can now see, one, the wind is battering as you get higher because there is snowfall that is happening. But you guys both with Fenris, quicker than normal, make it up to an altitude that you're comfortable under. And although the first couple hours are somewhat nerve-wracking with the way that the balloon is shaking, you do manage to get out of the worst of it and to a softer snowfall with breaks in the clouds so you can see what is the moon currently shining above. Is there anything that you wish to do besides just fly?
I'm navigating.
Okay. Asher, are you doing anything?
I'm just being amazed at the scenery,
Okay.
not paying attention to anything.
It is quite pretty. It's very white, as the snow is everywhere. But you, the sky
Since it's
above.
just the two of us on it, it takes me about 20 minutes to decide I want to pee off the side of the balloon.
Little hard to do, but you can attempt.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. I'll say that you expertly, when you were helping create this thing, made a little door hole that you could use so that you could pee off of the side of it.
Unfortunately, he's peeing into the wind.
Yeah. The immediate feeling of cold air rushes across your nether region. And as you pee, you watch it, and it almost within like the first 3 to 4 seconds of it coming out of you turns to ice and just begins to fall. It is very cold.
Look out below.
I peed off the balloon.
Yeah.
And from there I just sort of putz around.
Okay. All right. If there's nothing you guys want to talk about, then that is where we will take a break real quick. We will be back in about 10 minutes. Ben's actually going to be leaving for the night. He is a busy doctor in the OR. Well, sorry, busy to-be doctor in the OR and has to wake up really early in the morning. So he will be replaced by a picture of himself when you come back. But we appreciate him for being out here. We will see you all in about 10 minutes.
Ben, I'm gonna teach you how to navigate.
Happy
the balloon
holidays,
so that
y'all.
We can sleep in shifts.
That makes sense.
All right.
I deem Brian gets to Jaeger me.
Okay.
Well, it's gonna be difficult to have a fictional character, Jaeger, another fictional character.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it works.
Not
All right.
David. Brian.
We will be right
All right,
back.
Zinnia, so if Ashton was on the balloon right now, I think he'd be doing this.
Probably be right.
Cool.
All right. We'll be right back. Thanks for joining us so far. Make sure to stick around to see the end of it. And
Happy
Yeah.
holidays, folks.
happy holidays. We'll be right back.
Ben.
And welcome back. And bear with me as I put a beautiful picture of of Ben. Ben. Gone. Sad face. Thank you all for following us tonight along on our last episode of the year. We appreciate it. Make sure that if you aren't already, follow the channel. If you have the money for it, please consider subscribing. And don't forget to resubscribe if you used Twitch. Ben is now the full screen. Let me shift him down a little bit. All right, there we go. Make sure that you resubscribe with your Twitch subscription if you subscribe through that. We really appreciate it. We know this year has been tough, so we understand if you can't. But following is free, so please do that if you haven't already. And I'll talk about the streams coming up when we end tonight. So where we left off, you had started your journey back to Ambrosia on the balloon. The rest of you made your trek into the library and are currently back together now, trying to figure out what to do with the rest of the time that you have. So whichever one of you did, well, I guess we'll go with the three of you, and then we'll go to Chris whenever you guys are done with your next thing.
As long as we're not facing any dangers in the sky.
There aren't too many. The biggest thing that comes up over the first day before you hit that, like, the river, as you pass over it, is just a group of large birds of prey. Not like giant, but like eagles. You see a couple of falcons and hawks. But yeah, other than that, it's not too much of an issue. So the three of you, after meeting up, after the conversation you had with this entity in the tree, and Kyron, after spending some time doing what research you can on mind flayers or illithids, what do you guys do?
I'm gonna go find Charlie.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
I'll help if it'll help.
Sure. At this point, it's just
That's a
asking
six-
around. Okay. You ask around. Unfortunately, at this time of night, it's very hard to find people, and not a lot of people know who you're talking about. Some of the individuals within the temple do, but they don't know where he's moved to. He wasn't very open about it, and as that is somewhat of a private thing, and most of the guards that you try and find also have no idea. You could try again in the morning. Maybe he'll be back at the temple then, but for tonight, you're probably not going to be able to find him.
All right.
Okay. Zinni,
I
did
got
you
an
wanna do
8.
anything?
I'm of no help.
Yeah. Did you want to do anything?
I mean, I don't really know what.
Okay. Well, you guys can either go back to Ambrosia, or you can spend the night in one of the many inns within the city.
We got time. If everyone wants to see Charles, let's have him see Charles.
Okay. So, do you guys just want to look for one of the local taverns? See if you can spend the night there, or
Where did we stay last time?
you guys stayed at a place called the Pickled Vine.
Can we stay there again?
Yeah, there's no reason why you could. You walk in. A younger human man seems to be manning the bar at the moment, with a few patrons still around. It's actually a bit lively. There's a bard playing a lute off in one of the corners. Kind of, people are haphazardly throwing what seem to be silver and copper, some gold at him. But it's warm and a nice change from the dead, quiet, cold outside. So
His technique leaves a little bit to be desired, but I'll take it.
one of the individuals that you pass as you say this kind of gives a chuckle and nods at you.
Hey, we're very tired, and we have a little bit of money, and we've stayed here before, apparently.
Well,
Can we stay here again?
I mean, of course, yeah. I'm new here. I've been only working for about I'd say a week or two, but I think we've got. And he kind of looks under the bar for a second. We've got a room available if you want it. It's got 2 beds, so it should be fine. we can have a cot brought up if you guys don't want to sleep together, but it's up to you.
I can sleep. That'd be nice, actually. How much?
This one's not too expensive. It is, winter time and most people are home, so no one's traveling. It's only going to be about, say, 5 silver pieces, and that'll include breakfast.
That's no problem. I got that.
Thank you. And he kind of goes under, hands the key. Did you want anything to drink? Or is it just bed for you?
I'm going to bed. I'm tired.
You're actually not. It's only been about 3 hours since you just woke up.
I'm not going to bed. I'm not tired.
Yeah, it's rather weird. Like, you're not used to it being this late and being this awake. But you guys can just chill out for the night. You don't have to take a long rest. But you wait until morning time. You guys are still easily awake. The shift, it gives you that like very weird like brain fuzziness where you're like, it's morning, but I didn't sleep all night, but I wasn't tired. So you're just having this weird like, oh geez, excuse me, dissonance at the moment. But the light starts to peek through the window as you guys either small cat nap through the night or what have you, and awake the next morning to the smell of breakfast being made downstairs. You walk down. There's a half-elf woman who you recognize as the owner, an individual you came into contact last time. You dropped the key off. She just kind of nods at you, still seemingly waking up on her own, and points to one of the tables where there's just platters of food laid out that as individuals are kind of eating into them and leaving, they're refilled and restocked with eggs and meats and vegetables of varying kinds, cut and sliced fruits, a good winter's breakfast. But you guys eat your fill, and then the day is yours to do with what you will.
As we're eating, I'm just gonna use ascending and just contact Gideon. Just be like, "Hey, bud, it's me. We got a good lead on where to go. Hope Ashter isn't being too Ashter. That's about it. All good here. Hope you're alive."
As you're getting ready to fall asleep in the morning on the underneath, because it is dark under there because it's covered, you wake up Ashter after having like an extensive, quite extensive, more than it needs to be, conversation on how to navigate specifically the balloon. And you're just about to lay down and like fall asleep, and you get to that moment where you're like cresting into the fall before Brian's voice pops in your head, and you like move up and accidentally hit your head on the top, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, how many words is that?
4?
I'm good. Fuck. Yeah, we're good. Still heading south. Nothing notable happening. Rook's making sure we don't die while I sleep.
That's probably the extent of what you get.
Good night.
They're fine.
What do you guys wish to do with the day?
I'm gonna send a message to Charlie.
Okay.
Jay, where are you? It's Kyron. I need to talk to you. You can reply to this message.
A couple seconds go by. Wait! Who is this? Kyron? Oh! I'm at the temple if you want to come see me. That's it.
Great. I'll go to the temple.
Okay. Your trek back to the temple, and within an easy amount of time, Charlie is grabbed, and he goes, "Oh, it's so good to see you. How has everything been? It's not been too long since I last saw you."
Oh, it's fine. We were in the Underdark for a minute.
Oh, scary. Scary stuff indeed.
Very scary. Hey, I heard you were having trouble. What's up?
Oh, it's not trouble per se. I've just been having some weird dreams recently.
Yeah, like what?
Oh, well, whereas I've had dreams sometimes, of some semblance of knowledge, your drow friend there seems to have found some white cat that he's picked up. Sir, cats are not allowed in the temple.
Hey,
Sorry.
But anyway, the dreams, yes, I've been having these weird, recurring dreams of some kind of blue flame of some kind. It seems to be coming to me in random happenstances and memories that I have as I'm dreaming. That's really about it. It's just as someone, someone such as myself, recurring dreams usually have some kind of meaning.
Uh-huh. Is there anything else with this blue flame, or is it just like
It's
fire?
just like a soft candlelight. It feels reassuring, but you can never be too safe. I obviously, as you well know, seeing as you helped stop it, most of the individuals that died of the sickness that was going around town died in their sleep, and some of them said that dreams started to come to them, and it worried me for a second, but it seems not to be too much. I guess it probably scared a few people that I said I was having dreams and then almost immediately left the temple to go move somewhere. But don't mind. I'm fine.
Yeah, where's your address?
Oh, and he gives you his address. He talks about it's like a very, it's within a very like, even though it's within the city and urban, it's a more rural area. There's a community garden nearby, as he is of druidic prowess, and clerical prowess. He found a place where he could be a part of a group that made their own vegetables and grew their own food and like had a small little farm in this general area. It doesn't cost him too much, and the people there are very nice, and he says that the kids can be the kids can be rascals sometimes, and they like to steal our beets and turnips and some of the other tubers we like to make and eat them for themselves. But other than that, most of the trouble is not too high.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to check up on you
Oh, I appreciate
since
it.
I was in town.
Yeah, of course. It's always good to see a familiar face.
Hey, if you ever need anything, I'm sure somebody around here can send me a message.
Oh, I'm sure they
So-
can. I think I can do it as well. I think.
Okay, well, the offer's there if you ever need anything.
Oh, I'll let you know.
Might take me a second, but I get there.
Well, I always appreciate to see you, and no matter how long it takes, I am glad that you come visit me.
Yeah. Hey, I tried to get your friend back, but a certain person wouldn't let me, so...
Oh, it's okay. I
Sorry.
told you that it's, and whenever you're done, you can bring him back, and if you can't, it's okay. It's up to your discretion. He seems to need it more than I do at the moment. But,
I don't really know about that.
well, neither do I, but he seems a trustworthy fellow, even if he is a bit of a dunce.
You could say that again.
I won't,
Anyways, I'll leave you to your shenanigans.
Yes. Well, I'll get back to them then. He kind of just gives you a wink and then walks off. It was good to see you, Brian. And you as well, Zinnia. It's always a pleasure to see familiar faces. And some less familiar faces. He kind of just waddles off.
Well, that's why I wanted his friend. You see how fucking lonely he is? I'm gonna grumble the entire time.
I've met a lot of old people in my life. Yeah, sometimes that's just kind of how they get sometimes when they're old. I do think he
Yeah,
appreciates
but
the company though, so
Has the opportunity to not be lonely every once in a while.
yeah.
Anyways,
think
let's
we're-
go.
I think it's nice. It's nice what you're doing.
Trying.
The second day for you, Gideon and Ashter, is clear. A little bit slower as the wind starts to die down, as you kind of get to an open planed area where there's a break, but it is clear day. It's beautiful. Nothing seems to bother you, and the day goes by. You try to reset your sleep schedule a little bit, so you only take about an hour, 2 hour nap, and then wake up and just start doing stuff. And then at night, when you guys are ready to sleep, you go to sleep. But the second day's done. You pass over the river, and at the end of the night, you get to the point where the
Do we pass over the river where it's already split?
no. Going straight down to it, off in the horizon from how high you are, you can see where it splits. Yes, for those of you who are paying attention, I am not a geographer, and I know that rivers aren't supposed to split like that, but it's a fantasy world.
We already talked about it
So,
when we made the map.
Yeah, get mad at me if you want. You do see where the split happens, and you kind of along the edge of your vision, you do follow the river until it starts to go away, and then you are over the forest proper. But that's around sunset, and you only get a glimpse of it before specifically the sun sets over the mountains to the point where you can't see it anymore. But
Honestly, I'd rather still be sleeping during the day and be the one navigating at night,
okay, then you can.
because it's a little more dangerous.
Said you tried to reset it, so.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, as your guys' second day, those of you who are in Saber, is beginning, what would you like to do?
I don't need to do anything else here, honestly. I think we can just kind of go back home. We want to head back to Ambrosia, just kind of get a lay of the land, see if anyone knows of this Halls of Bombardier kind of place.
Sounds good to me. I don't really have anything else to do.
Okay. Kyron, anything you want to do in Saber, or are you good?
don't know the Kyron can really hear us right now.
Okay.
It's a little glitchy on their end, but Kyron says yes.
Okay, cool. So then you go ahead and mark off the chalk, but you find a viable space that's kind of out of the way of the now somewhat busier streets of Saber. Find a good spot to cast the teleportation circle, and zoop, all of you are thrust towards the teleportation circle that is within the vineyard on the lower level. The soft sounds of rains and a, again, slightly warmer temperature greet you. You make your way up into the vineyard, or do you go down? What do you do?
That's y'all.
I'll check out the
Right.
vineyard.
I'd like to see my sibling.
Okay. You, Zinnia, you just going back to your room? Okay. The pain is setting in, and you are a little tired, just because of the way that the sleep is taking you. So you can take a nap if you would like. It is raining, per usual. Outside, comfortable, dark, and homey. It feels nice to be back home again after having to leave so soon as you got back. Kyron, you look around the vineyard proper, and you don't seem to find them, but you do go down back into the area where the teleportation circle is, and they seem to have just been down there to begin with, are currently just lounging in one of the rooms downstairs, and kind of look up from a book that they seem to be writing in.
Hey,
Hi. So, how was the trip?
guys. Not as successful as we wanted, to be honest with you.
Well, is everyone still alive?
Currently.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm sorry it didn't pan out the way it was supposed to.
Yeah, we gotta go somewhere else for this flower now.
Well,
It's this whole thing.
where?
I'll kind of describe where it was from what
So
Brian said after the thing.
yeah. So south of Ambrosia, the old dwarven civilization. It could be a little harrowing. I'd definitely plan for some kind of poison, or at least something that makes you a bit more constitute. I know that that's something that they deal with, especially the ones that I had conversations with. Wouldn't be surprised if you find a dragon in there, if I do say so myself. However, most of the ones you may find inside old civilizations like that, especially dwarven ones, will be more of the metallic kind, so you wouldn't have to worry too much. But from what it sounds like, you've got something else on your hands. So, they kind of get up with a start. We hired someone new. They came to us, said that they were interested in working, so I hired them, but I think it might be fitting for you to meet them.
Okay.
No one bad. I hope you would trust my judgment. They seemed on the up and up, so
And their name is...
his specifically, his name is San. Sanne,
Okay.
he told me. It was interesting. He kind of skin tone a little bit remind me of you. He's not tiefling though.
Alright, where is he at?
He should be within the the workers. I'll just take you upstairs. He's more of a heavy lifter.
Okay. Hey, have you heard of anything of like dreaming about a blue flame by any chance?
I mean, I think so, yeah. I don't know if this is information I'm allowed to share, but I'm sure you guys are close. Didn't Ashton say he was also dreaming of some kind of blue flame?
Oh, I guess. You know, sometimes he talks and I just don't listen.
I understand. But unfortunately, I gave him the ability to learn how to speak my language, so...
Yeah, that was your fault.
It was, and I take full responsibility. I just won't let him cook eggs again.
Yeah, don't ever do that. It was so bad.
Oh, I know. Here, and they kind of open the door for you as you guys are walking and talking. Out into the rain, they bring like an umbrella with them and kind of walk towards the workers' area. Well, it sounds like you've got a bit of a trip ahead of you. I saw, well, is it just you? Is the rest of the group here?
Oh, no, currently it's just Brian and Zinnia right now. Asher and Gideon are on the balloon.
Okay. When are you expecting them? I'll make sure that it's known that they're arriving.
A day? Maybe less? Maybe more?
Alright, I'll make sure that the proper individuals are let known. This San individual might be able to help lasso down the balloon if needed, so... here, and opens the door to the workers' barracks. You see the Azamari individual near the front, just kind of working on some plants, just for decor. Is San in? Oh, yeah, 1 second. And she runs off. And a brief second later, a burly, like, big, gray skin tone, like very ashy though. Almost as if the entire body has been like brushed with some kind of stone, and parts of it have still clung to the body itself. Eyes kind of like a deep but bright gray color, and currently wearing like a leather breastplate style with a tight shirt. No hair on the head, completely bald, but like stocky. And he comes up. Yes? Sora goes, I wanted to introduce you to my the co-owner of the vineyard. I thought it only fitting. Kyron, this is San. San, this is Kyron.
Hello.
He stands about nearly a foot taller than you. So he kind of looks down and he
Fair.
goes, hello. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm far off place. If you want specifics, I can give them to you.
No, it's fine. I've just never seen anyone else who kind of looked like me-ish.
Oh, well, it's quite interesting actually to see a tiefling with the skin tone so closely related. The stone texture of the skin comes from, well, I have some elemental aspect to me. I am, there's many of us, we come from the, well, we don't come from the elemental planes, but we have the energy of the planes within us. I'm what you might refer to as a genasi. specifically one that deals with the earth.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty interesting.
But yes, I was looking for some work, and someone told me that the vineyard was looking for hired hands, and well, I decided to come in and assist as best possible.
And you don't find it weird that we deal with dead people wine?
No. I've
Okay.
seen a lot of dead things in my life. I don't think it's weird to repurpose them.
That's fair enough. All right, well, I'll let you get back to work.
He kind of nods towards Sora. They kind of nod back.
Do I trust this guy?
Make an insight check.
That's a natural 20.
Okay.
So, probably a 21, I think. I don't think I have very high insight. No, that's a 25.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
My eyeballs. In the meantime, you're taking a nap, Brian. Is there anything that you were looking to do?
Have I run into this new person yet?
No. He would be off the beaten track. You can walk through the vineyard. There also, based off where you are, there looks to be some kind of very brightly colored stall in the marketplace that wasn't there when you guys left.
Oh, look, something bright and shiny and newly added to the area. What's over here?
Oh, look, small business.
He
Let's put our small business in this time.
he is actually quite hard to read. You don't know if it's the stony stoicism that he has. He seems trustworthy, but you've also run into individuals that seem trustworthy that aren't. You've also run into people who seem untrustworthy that are. You don't get the
So
sense.
I can't read him with a natural 20.
No.
Okay, then I don't trust him.
Okay. You have this, I will say, you have this weird feeling like there's something more to his story, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And that is what's kind of giving you this unnerving feeling.
Okay.
But, Brian, as you head down into, the market, seemingly glowing from no real source, just glowing. You see a kind of banner that's kind of draped over the top of this very ornate tent that, as you walk up, the filigree on the banner is in a language you don't understand, but is very fancy. And then as you kind of like try to focus on it, the filigree and kind of lettering just starts to shift till you can see in a language that you do understand, specifically, I will say Elvish, the the name of this tent, don't get mad at me, is Sightstone's Toy Emporium.
Not mad. That's good. Figures that little shit would fucking plane hop at some point.
I don't know what this is. Oh, wait. I think I know what this is, but
Out of the four of us here currently, you and Chris would be the only two that would know.
yeah, no, sure. I'm gonna walk right on in.
Okay. Let me see if I can emulate David's accent here. As you walk in, there is, first of all, the tent gets much larger on the inside than it was on the outside. And there are hundreds, maybe even thousands of small trinkets that line the walls, glass cases along the outskirts of the tent. Some of them just kind of like randomly, haphazardly floating in the air and kind of moving about. They're just everywhere. And they're all toys. Like, you get the sense that this is a very fancy place for toys to be made. But sitting at the desk, there is a older looking, but not like Gimbal or Charlie age, olive skinned, wearing spectacles, a robe, a symbol, a holy symbol around the neck, gnome creature, or gnome individual, I should say.
This is very sad that this popped up after Ben left. Ben would be very excited for this.
He would.
I want to see if you remember his accent. 'Cause I don't.
I do.
This is quite fancy.
Well, I'd appreciate it. It's a lot of hard work. I've put a lot of work into this specifically.
Yeah, it seems like this is a kind of thing you might build up over, I don't know, like 3.5 years of hard adventuring work.
Oh, it's a little
At
bit more
least.
than that. I've had a decent amount of adventuring years put behind me. And, well, that's a story for another time. If you've got some of it, I'll be in town for a bit longer, but we'll see where it takes me.
Well, I have to admit, new and colorful things aren't exactly a common sight in this rainy cesspit of a town. So, you piqued my interest. What you got?
Well, as the name would suggest, I make toys. He does have this like faint glow to him, like you notice as you
Yeah.
look at him.
Right. But like, this is clearly from the tent and the size, trickery, and there's a lot of these here. These aren't. Come on, lad. These aren't just toys, right? There's
No,
some kind of a catch or a
they're
trick
not.
or something.
They're not just toys, of course not. Well, when I was done with my adventuring time, I after a bit of a skirmish in the astral plane, I decided to plane hop with my family and settle down as what we would call a celestial toy maker. Make toys for the young divas and solars that make up the upper planes. And every once in a while I'd travel to different material planes of existence and bring my wares. It doesn't bother me that it's raining. I've seen far worse and dealt with far worse in my time.
All right. I'll bite. I don't feel like I can actually accurately pick out anything from everything on display here. Kind of got a bit of choice paralysis. What would a fine adventuring fellow recommend for a fellow adventurer like yourself?
Well, I don't make too many things for adventures anymore. I try to stick specifically to the children, but I might have a few things that I can scrounge about. You seem
What do
like
you have for a man-child with a giant cow?
a man-child with a giant cow. That's a new one. Well, I've got a. Let's see. What can I scrounge up? I can make him a diorama of this cow that moves almost exactly like it. Is it a real cow?
You know, I've never actually been able to pinpoint that down. It seems real to me. I can touch it and ride it, but it comes out of a fancy medallion kind of thing. So
Interesting.
yes and no, I guess.
Well, if he's a bit of a dunce, I've had a friend once or twice that wasn't the smartest individual, so he probably hits things a lot, I would bet.
Yes. Oh yes, he's our resident hit thingser.
Well,
Squeaky hammer.
I had a couple friends once upon a time that did that. Let's see, what can I do for a man who rides a cow? Huh. He kind of sits there thinking for a while. Unfortunately, I don't think I can do too much for him. He seems to be, if he's someone who's been riding for a while, I was thinking I could make him something that would help him be more sturdy on the saddle, but sounds like he's already got that down, so... Huh. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not much I can do.
Oh. Alright, that's Oh. Well, you said you mostly make children's toys, right?
Yes, that I do.
This wave of realization kind of hits. What would you recommend? Very small child, little girl, maybe God, 2? Why don't I know that?
It
2,
sounds
3?
like you've got a bit of a story yourself to say. I'll say this. Anything in this shop is good for a child of any age. And he kind of just pulls his hands in, and you watch as multiple pieces just float off the shelves into the general vicinity of you. You see what looks to be a small, like, tiny little mechanical bird that's just, like, flapping its wings as if it were a real bird. And it just kind of, like, flies up to you, flutters like a hummingbird, and then just kind of flutters back into place and just is, like, looking at you. Looks to be a tiny little, like, fits in the palm of your hand, like, monkey-type creature that, like, has a little hat on and, like, is doing a little dance in front of you and, like, pulls his hat off and, like, little sparks fly out of the hat and he puts it back on. I mean, he looks at you and he goes, honestly, wherever your imagination can take you.
The monkey's nice.
He kind of looks at you. I've made enough money in my time. It sounds like you need to get back some of yours. You can have it.
Thank you. This is delightfully charming and admittedly slightly bizarre. Why in the world? You seem far more powerful than someone who's just destined to make toys for a living.
Well, I've been...
What's going on here?
Let's just say I've been adventuring a long time. And I've finally found my purpose. Doing something that is a bit less dangerous than what I'm used to, but still has its danger attributed to it. I don't do it for too long. You see, my family is not with me here, so I have to travel back to where I was and came from to see them. But every once in a while, it brings a smile to me heart to, bring a smile to others.
Well, Mr. Mr. Sightstone, I assume.
You've got that right.
This was nice. This was charming. Thank you.
Just make sure that whatever child that you're bringing that to gets it safe and sound.
I assure you they will.
And whenever you're done doing whatever it is that you do, or rather, being done with whatever it is that you have on your shoulders, that you spend as much time as you can with them.
Not all of us are destined for toys, mate.
Don't have to be. But a father doesn't come into a toy shop looking for a toy for his kid and not want to spend time with it.
Here's hoping.
Well, like I said, if you wanted to have a conversation at some point, I won't be here too much longer, but I am glad that you walked in.
Right. Thank you. I'm just gonna slowly leave.
Okay. You
Like
leave.
I'm interested, but I'm also like what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm not used to just like genuine delight in any place.
Yeah. The conversation he had about the planes just completely went over your head. You had no idea what exactly was going on. But you walk out and the tent's still there. The filigree again is that weird writing, but you do kind of unfocus and it turns back into the Elvish that you saw before. But
I check and see if the monkey's still with me.
the monkey is still with you.
All right, I wasn't hallucinating. All right.
And it's currently like latched onto your finger like it would be like on a tree. It's very intricate work. Like Rook is very good automaton work and defender work, but this like takes it like 10 steps forward. Like
Getting about this guy.
the weird aspects of it just don't make any sense to you, but it is by far the coolest toy you have ever seen.
Yeah, no, I make a mental note to as soon as Gideon gets in, just be like, Gideon, go check out this weird man in the tent.
For sake of brevity, if there's anything that you guys would like to do over the next 2 days before Gideon and Astra get there, you can do that. If you'd like to prepare for the coming trip, feel free.
I just wanted to chat with Brian about how I don't trust the new person who works at the vineyard.
Okay.
And that's it.
I'm
And
s-
also, whenever he's around, watch them like a hawk.
Okay.
I'm going to take two small stones and wrap them in a spare bit of fur from like the edge of my cloak, and strap them together and tinker the two stones inside to give off white noise and make noise canceling headphones for myself, so that I don't have to deal with Asher being himself all the time.
Okay. The nights are much easier, or the days, I should say. But you do around the 3.5. I guess you started at night, so it would be getting into the night of a fourth day. You do see Ambrosia on the horizon. You do pass over Saber. There is a quick chat with one of the clerics about what your intention are, but as soon as they see you, they recognize you and they're like, oh, okay. You just let them know what's happened, what's going on. They know that they talked to you about the fact that the rest of your group was there a day and a half prior.
Oh, did we like stopped in Saber?
No, they flew up and just had a conversation.
Oh, that's fucking wild. Okay.
But that's the worst of what you have to deal with before you make it back to Ambrosia just fine. You see the very dark looming cloud of rain. You make it in, and the vineyard individuals help you pull the balloon down. You dock, and you all are back home.
How much does the balloon weigh by itself?
I don't know off the top of my head. I don't have a number. It is solid wood with adamantine rivets and chains that hold. Well, I guess it's rope actually because you talked about rope.
Yep, it's rope.
So whatever a wagon would weigh, plus any of the, I guess also plus the furnace itself is about 800 pounds. So, but
Oh, okay, never mind.
yeah. So
Just wanted to ask.
as you guys make it in, is there anything else you would like to do? As it is getting around that time that I know you guys wanted to end, so.
I'll just kind of meet up with Kyron real briefly, and they'll catch me up.
Okay.
Yep.
You do see this individual walking about throughout the vineyard, mostly carrying like very heavy materials with relative ease. It reminds you a lot of Aster. Aster actually walks over and has a conversation with him for a little bit, and helps out with some of the heavy lifting.
The moment the tether gets grabbed below and I don't have to be on the balloon anymore, I'm stepping off.
Yeah, it is that weird like sea legs moment.
No, I'm stepping off
Onto the roof?
from the sky.
Oh. Okay, so yeah, the tether's dropped, and Asher's like looking down, and you just jump off? Okay. I'm
Try to
assuming
fall.
Cass... Yeah. I was going to say it, and I was waiting for you to be like, no, I don't. I'm like, okay. Let me get the damage die ready. Yeah.
And you die right now.
Yeah.
I go to cast Featherfall and realize I forgot to prepare it that day.
You're like, oh man, I'm so glad they're... No, Gideon jumps off, and everyone freaks out, except those of you who know that he's doing this theatrically because he's done it before.
Oh, guy's fine.
No,
Yeah,
not
he's fine, whatever.
theatrically. Very impatient to get off the balloon.
Okay. You do cast it though, and you make it down. With
Plus,
that,
it's fun.
you guys, if there's nothing else you'd like to do, you guys gather together that night, have dinner, sleep, wake up the next morning with the last bit of this leg ahead of you. Information found out, and ahead of you lies either more preparation or a pathway to hopefully finishing off this potion that you are looking to create. And that is where we'll pick up next year.
Oh boy.
Ooh wee.
Hey.
So,
Ooh-wee.
yeah. Thank you everyone who joined us tonight. We will still have a few other episodes of things coming forward. I totally forgot about Sunday because I am awful and I keep forgetting about the stuff that we actually do. But we will be having a giveaway on Thursday for our mini painting stream, which will be our last one. We might be starting a little bit early because we're painting larger minis. We're actually doing 2 different minis this time. They are dragons, as you guys did guess.
Even if they were the same, we'd probably paint them different anyway.
Yeah. We are doing the giveaway specifically is for 2 booster boxes of miniatures of whoever the winner is choice. I will be paying for them. Merry Christmas to whoever wins. Then we have an episode of Back at Stylus on Sunday, and then we will be pretty much MIA for the holiday break. We might come back on the 29th for like a post-Christmas, post-holiday-esque stream of virtual tabletop, Jackbox, something just to get back in the swing of things. But we appreciate you. Please follow the channel if you haven't already. Please consider subscribing if you have the money for it. Please continue to follow us on socials to find out more about what's going on with us. We have a lot of stuff on the horizon, and I am very excited for it. I think that's about it. So please have a wonderful night. Remember, tomorrow's a new day. things have finally started to at least somewhat die down a bit. Obviously, the pandemic is still out there, so please stay safe. Make sure that you are taking all the necessary precautions to make sure that the people around you are safe and healthy. We are doing the same here. Yeah. We love you guys. Thanks for joining us, and have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.